welcome back to the NFT Talks podcast. Today, I'm here with two amazing guests from the company called Motearn. I've got Sargis and I've got Naré. And Motearn is a Move2Earn application and it introduced wellness ecosystem in the NFT space, which is amazing, which is great to see. So there's so much to talk about. But before we get into that, welcome guys.
Hi, Sean. Thanks for the opportunity. Happy to be here.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on. I know I spoke to you guys, it's probably a few months ago now when we first come in contact with each other. And obviously you guys have been working hard and building, which is a great thing to do in the Web3 space. It's not all about talking about all the amazing things we can do. It's about actually building the platforms and able to make these things happen. That's what you guys have been focusing on. But how's that been for you so far, the whole building process to get this platform up?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like before like jumping into how the building of the platform is going, let me give you a little bit of background. So we are a Web2 company transitioning to Web3, and on a mission to help people to sit less and move more. And we added a gamification layer on our proof of work technology that is the most accurate activity tracking technology out there in the market. So we started in May, actually started talking with the community in April, but we launched in May. We did 2 small campaigns on Ethereum and Binance chain. Now we have around 30 active users, vibrant community with 800 people in Discord, and we are preparing for the next mint on Solana that will be on September 15. So far we have been receiving really great feedback. People buying iPhones to join the project. And yeah, it's crazy. We love these vibes in Web3.
Yeah, it is amazing, and even to go further back from that, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys are from a company, the Web2 company called it. Is it Embry Tech? Is that the tech company, Web2 company?
Yeah, absolutely. And we created Embry Tech has built this smart insoles that goes into your shoe and helps people to track almost every physical activity they do. And on top of that, now we are creating Motearn, which is Move2Earn, most sustainable Move2Earn economy.
Actually, Motearn is a product of Embry Tech. Embry Tech is a VC-backed wearable technology startup. We have a mission to encourage people to lead healthier and self-confident lives. And Motearn was born as a result of 4 years research, thousands of trials and failures in searching most effective method to incentivize people to move more. So we came up with the Motearn.
One thing I love about, so before we get into one thing, from just hearing you guys speak about it, is that you spoke about we're aiming to get people to move. So instantly I'm thinking customer focus first, technology second. So you focus on what you want to do and then you build the technology to do that. Whereas you haven't entered the space to say that we're trying to make as much money as possible with these tech, because that's what we're getting a lot with the platforms out there. Just how much money can we make? Can we be the first to market and so on? Whereas it's good to hear that you guys have been building for the last 4 years and this came along. I mean, was this planned that you're going to use blockchain technology to introduce this product, or was it something that you heard about it and thought this just makes complete sense?
Okay, so generally we utilize every technology to accomplish our mission, and Web3 is not an exception. So blockchain is not an exception. Frankly speaking, at the beginning, 4 years ago, we didn't even thought about utilizing blockchain technologies. So we invested 1 million in R&D to just create a technology that precisely detects what physical activities users are doing. And it is now uncheatable, high precision physical activity tracking device. And then when we were looking for ways to incentivize people to use tracking technology more, to move more and be aware, we came across to Web3, and this play to earn category was booming. And then afterwards, the subcategory of Move to Earn, we saw that a lot of products out there actually forming habit changing, where they have habit changing experiences. But we saw two major problems there that competitors are failing in the Move to Earn category. So the first one is when you claim that I'm going to reward something. Then question comes like, how are you going to track and make sure that people actually perform the activity that you are claiming to reward? How are you going to keep the fairness? Someone is not cheating or exploiting the opportunity, right? And here our technology comes first compared to our other wearables. Other wearables had a problem set that assuming we know that user, what is it that user doing, and we want to quantify it. But in our case, we say we are going to detect what the user is doing automatically and reward them for that.
Right.
So that's the main difference. And we don't use GPS data. User privacy is very important to us. So people can do any activity anywhere and get rewarded, and don't care about like user privacy and so on. Like, don't think about that because we don't track any of the location data. And the second question is that how are we going to make it sustainable, right? So if it's like dependent on the new users coming on and buying NFTs, then it's someday they reach a plateau of newcomers and the whole ecosystem fails. In our case, we are so we know the space very well. We are coming from wellness and technology, and we have a lot of connections in general wellness community and consumer companies, especially the shoes. So our plan is to but first of all, selling NFTs is not a crowdfunding for us. So we are a venture-backed company. We know what we do. We are building with our milestones. So no mint campaign will be a major issue if that fails or something else. Like we do our job. So we are well funded. We do our job, right? Launching NFTs is more go-to-market strategy, and also we had to introduce a new category of NFTs, which we call connected tangible NFTs. So the concept is that you get an NFT that gives you access to the app. Once you reach certain level, you are able to connect, receive Embry Smart Insoles and connect to your NFT, and you start earning another token, which is based on reliable technology. And with long term, we are going to onboard partners who are filling the rewarding pool because they are benefiting from people being more physically active.
Right. Okay. There's a lot of things you covered on there, but all important. But I want to, because for the listeners too, there's a lot of people that listen to NFT Talks podcast and they're quite new to the space, especially this whole concept of Move to Earn. Like, Naré, I'd love you to explain like what is that? What is Move to Earn? Like, yeah, for anyone that is new to the space or hasn't really come across this, it's a new word. This whole play to earn, Move to Earn is a real buzzword within the space. But what does it actually mean?
Actually, Move to Earn movement, we can call it movement, started with the concept of paying or rewarding people with tokens, with crypto, with something that will incentivize them for move more. So it's not a play to earn, because it has that component in real life, which is like movement. People should move to earn tokens, but we realize that something is kind of wrong with the concept, because like something needs to be fixed. Because there are Move2Earn projects, like most of them, they are just using Move as one of the activities that people can do inside the game. But now we are really curious about movement, and we want our users really move. So you can earn that reliable tokens with Embry Smart installs only by doing physical activity.
Yeah.
So this kind of fixes the whole concept of Move2Earn, and maybe yeah, this will be the change that will save the Move2Earn movement.
Yeah, so I mean, when I think of Motearn, the way you explain it, then the first thing that comes to mind to me when I first came across that would be playing games like Nintendo Wii, when you play the tennis and stuff like that, when you that kind of thing. And then we had the smartwatches with when you walk, it takes you steps. So now we're growing. We're looking with the tech that you guys have created, insole technology, putting this within your footwear, and it's going to be able to monitor your movement. Now, there's different kind of movements you can do within when you've got footwear on. They could be jogging, they could be football, they could be walking. So, is there any way that technology could define that, and you get rewarded more if you run, or do you get rewarded? You get rewarded less if you walk? Like, so I'd like to hear that side of it.
Absolutely. You are revealing our roadmap right now. Okay, so yeah. So as I mentioned, we are able with this technology, our uncheatable technology, non-GPS technology, we are able to detect almost every physical activity you do using your feet.
Mm-hmm.
So being that biking, jogging, running, playing anything, even climbing or whatever. So right now, the beta version of the app rewards only for walking and running, and they have the same coefficiency. But what is interesting, with new launch, we are introducing new way of rewarding, which is like, imagine like the first 1,000, 2,000 steps, you get less rewarded. But if you keep doing more 1,000 steps, every 1,000 steps gives you more rewards than the previous 1,000 steps. And once you reach 15,000, then it starts declining again up to 30,000. And after 30,000, you are not rewarded. Right. So it's like we are encouraging people to move more, at the same time discouraging overdoing.
Okay, all right, okay. And who defines what is overdoing? Because there's different levels of fitness. Like my mother-in-law, she walks a lot, but then if somebody plays sports a lot, then they may just naturally do a lot more. And is that going to be unfair for them to be like, okay, incentivized to do it?
So we are following the guidelines of World Health Organization.
Okay.
So they have minimum amount of physical activity for people to consider themselves like minimum physically healthy.
Yeah.
So that's why at the beginning we have like, if you do less and then more, then it grows, the rewarding grows. At the same time, sport is not like doing professional sports is not healthy either. Okay. All professional athletes have health issues, right?
True.
It's like you push out of yourself, you stress your body. We don't want people to stress their body. We are not for professional athletes. We are for general population, for people like us, like you, who have sedentary jobs, who are creators, traders, NFT traders, developers, designers, like people who have like 80% of the jobs today require sedentary lifestyle. And not all of all people are athletes, right? Or only small percentage of population are athletes, right? And you don't have to be an athlete to have a physically active lifestyle.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Good answer. you got your way around that. But yeah, I just wanted to ask, because I think so generally it's for the Joe blogs, anyone that just wants to be healthy to a certain extent, keep active. Is there any age requirement on there in regards to the people that can use it? Because obviously we've got kids and so on. So have you got a target audience that you're aiming at that specifically, and age range?
Nare, would you like to cover this part?
Go ahead, because I couldn't hear the question.
Okay, so
yeah.
So the question is about our target audience, right?
Yeah, target audience.
Okay. So we are targeting right now. We are targeting mainly NFT, like an NFT and trading community.
Yeah.
We would say crypto native community, because these people also have sedentary lifestyles and they have wallets. So onboarding new people to Web3 is like opening crypto wallet. Yeah. So user experience, I would say, is not smooth there enough right now. Though we are aiming, so we know how to bring on board people, Web2 people, right, who are not crypto native. But at the beta stage, we are aiming to bring on board crypto native people, early adopter people. Usually they are like from 18 to 40 maybe. People who are familiar with all the Web3 technologies, they have wallets and so on and so forth. At the same time, they care about their health, their physical health, and they are interested in Move2Earn.
All right, cool. That makes sense. So as we're on the crypto net, talking about crypto native people, we're talking about people on the Web3 space. I want you to explain, and probably Neri, you could probably explain this part, is where does the blockchain technology actually come into this? Where does the NFTs? We talked about the technology in regards to it monitors your movement, but how are you using blockchain and NFT technology to reward people?
Okay, so first of all, wearables meant to be decentralized data sources, and in Web2 we didn't have tools to utilize them in a decentralized manner, right? Now with this shift, we are utilizing blockchain. It's like at the start, there is no way you can do everything on chain, so it's from semi-centralized way implementation, we are moving towards fully decentralized. And here we have advantages again. With our technology, we are able to, I'm talking about long run, right? We are able to make the insole, make your shoe to become a node in the blockchain, right, and talk to the blockchain directly. Right now, it's not like that. So data comes to your app, to the phone, and phone talks to our backend server, which itself talks to the Oracle, and which talks to the chain.
Right. Okay.
But the next version will be, the long-term version will be the most decentralized way will be your shoe talking to the chain or the Oracle, at least, directly.
Yeah, so just to break that down before we go too much, just anyone listening, just want to explain that. So the shoe talks to the application, the app talks to the Oracle. So the Oracle is like a third-party trusted application or center that holds this information, and it gives the information to the blockchain to be recorded, right? Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Absolutely. Wanted to go through that to make sure anyone listening understands the process. So
that's the back end. Mm-hmm. On the front end, we are introducing 3 types of tokens. CT NFTs, connected tangible NFTs,
Right.
It has a look of smart shoe, really cool art that is allowing you, giving you access to the app and giving you access to certain functionalities in the app that we'll cover later. The second is fungible token. We call it MOT. So to allow people to try our experience, we opened the app for everybody who has phone or smartwatch, whatever, to start the app without owning Embry Smart insoles.
Right. Okay.
But the promise is that once you get the NFT, you start, we'll ship you Embry insoles for free. It's $250 worth. You are getting it for free once you reach level 32. So you use your phone, you use any wearable, but you are earning MOT. So this is our first fungible token. We call it MOT. And with these data sources that are not that reliable, that are cheatable, you earn MOT.
Yeah.
But if you start with Embry Smart insoles, once you receive Embry Smart insoles, you are able to mine EMETs, which is Embry Move2Earn token.
Right.
So Embry Move2Earn token. So we have 3 tokens: NFTs, MOT, and Embry Move2Earn token. Embry Move2Earn token is our main product,
yeah.
And users can earn Embry Move2Earn token only by doing physical activity and only with tracking with our insoles.
Yeah.
So there is no other way to get Embry Move2Earn tokens other than doing physical activity with our insoles.
But it's not like random decision to say that you can earn only with our insoles. It's because right now Embry Smart insoles are the only variables that can track that like high accuracy physical activity. So we need to rely on the data to give that non-fungible EMET.
Okay, so there's 3 different, just to clarify, 3 different tokens. Is it 3 different? Obviously, the EMETs is down to movements. The MOT is more of a, would you consider it more like a easier onboarding process? So people that haven't got the insole, they still can utilize the application. Are you saying that if they get to level 3, you will get insole for free sent to yourself?
Absolutely.
So you're unlocking your insoles.
Okay, so are they paying to use this application?
Okay, so you mint the NFT. So next mint will be 2 souls.
Okay.
So you pay 2 souls. It's right now it's around $62 or so.
Yeah.
And once you get level 32, you get $250 Embry Smart insoles for free. Right. Because you showed commitment, you did physical activity. It's matter of the average, with average pace, you would get there in 6 weeks or so.
That's still good. I like that whole approach. I mean, whether it's marketing or just down to you're getting users, you're getting to be active to say, okay, if you put this effort in, this is going to be your reward. So it's giving them the whole, you're kind of training them how to use this application to get this first info, and then they should carry on doing that to earn the reward, right?
So we are rewarding people not only with crypto, but also with physical products, digital and physical goods. So our plan is to open an in-app marketplace with physical and digital goods. And with partnerships, we will be able to buy discounts like gym pass, health insurance, whatever, only health and wellness related products. And maybe some like wearables and like shoes, but all of them are all connected to your NFT.
Wow. Okay.
Also, it's worth mentioning that even when we track with wearables or we track with your phone, we are not using GPS. So like other products, they're using GPS to make sure that you are walking or doing some physical activity, but we are not using GPS at all. Even before 30-second level.
So what, tell me, and I know you've highlighted that a few times, and that's obviously important, like a unique selling point from you guys. But tell me why, what's the difference? I know they use it to monitor you walking. So what tech have you got in your insole to enable to, you don't have to do that? How do you tell if somebody's running? How do you tell if somebody's jogging or they're even moving? I mean, how do you tell if somebody's just not at the insole and doing that and clapping it with their hand to say that they're doing steps? Because there's always people that are going to try and abuse the system, right?
Okay, so I'm going to show some stuff here.
Okay, let's see.
So you see this part?
Yeah.
So there are sensors here and multiple sensors. So we do sensor fusion, and our proprietary ML algorithms apply on them. We measure the load under your feet with very high frequency, like 100 times per second, and also 3-axis acceleration with the same frequency. So in order to cheat our technology, we say you need to buy a humanoid robot from Boston Dynamics and hack our device to get the raw sensor data, feed the robot, teach him how to walk like you walk, and then you will be able to cheat our technology. Someone has these abilities and this kind of money to invest on cheating, so we are happy to talk to them. Yeah. And reward them, actually.
Okay, so yeah, it's gonna take you a lot of effort to actually hack. You want to say hack the insole.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's where. So there's a way. So it's down to you pick up. Does it event? How does it pick up it straight away? Because different weights, different size feet, and so on. How does it monitor that? How does it pick up if you're running? I'm just trying to work out that, because different people, different sizes, so it's going to be different. However, whatever you're monitoring, it's going to be different, isn't it? Me walking is going to be different to you walking. So what is it actually taking from that? And this is just me being a bit of a geek, just trying to understand the technique behind it.
Yeah, actually, early on, we started with building a wearable scale. So right now, our insoles also weigh the users. So we have the user's weight, and also every user has a unique walking pattern.
Yeah.
And we are able to detect the user with like 70% accuracy. So someone has to have closer to you, weight closer to you, like 2-3 pounds closer to you. Foot size has to be closer to you, and the walking pattern. So you might have the same genes, maybe your brother or your dad, something like that, to be able to walk instead of you. So we measure we measure the weight, we measure the acceleration and the load, everything, and with combination of the data allows us to detect even tiny moves, like are you sitting or standing? Are you actually walking with a constant pace, or it's just moving around?
Even if you are not walking, but someone walks for yourself, for you, in the end of the day, they are doing physical activity. Yeah. So we are making sure that someone is doing the physical activity to mint that tokens.
Okay.
So it's not like cheating by sticking them on your door or somewhere else, or using some tools to cheat the device. But someone should really walk in real life to cheat. So we are okay with that as well.
Okay.
Even if you buy, so we want to make sure that even if you buy our tokens, you know, like you have 10 EMETs in your wallet, someone did physical activity for you to have these tokens.
Yeah, someone did it. I mean, I leave my shoes at the front door, and sometimes my daughter puts them on and walks around in the house with them. So maybe they'll be counted as some token points. But yeah, and I do understand where you're coming from. But I mean, just, I think these are questions that people may ask, because I guess, yeah, if people are going to earn some type of reward, there's got to be some kind of restriction around it, and you're going to be able to monitor it. Because if anyone is able to hack it, people will, and then that will become a problem, won't it, down the line? So we're not actually doing what you guys want to happen, and people are getting rewarded for not actually doing any movement. So yeah, but I think you've covered it with regards to what you talked about and how it works. I just want to talk about, you mentioned something called a proof of work technology. So obviously that's a play around the whole proof of work, proof of stake. So
Yeah.
like, what is this? Is this what you're calling this technology, proof of work?
Yeah, actually, it's like early nudge for our long-term goals.
Right.
So we call it proof of work because right now it's proof of work, right? So we are able to reliably claim that this person did this much of activity. So we are kind of proof. So for our long-term partners, insurances and health and wellness related companies that will join the rewarding pool, they know that exactly this person did this physical activity. Because there are a lot of companies who own a lot of data. There were like Fitbit doing partnership with insurances that failed because of technology didn't deliver. People would attach their Fitbits to their dogs, fans, drills, and whatever, and add some steps. So that's the core thing and the long-term thing is that I mentioned that we want the shoe to talk to the blockchain itself. And instead of, if we are going to mass adoption, not every person is fired with gamification, right? Though we are not a game, we are gamified wellness on top of physical activity tracking, but still it's a gamification, and not all people are a fan of gamification. But with this, people will be able to mine Embry Move2Earn tokens without participating in the game, just attaching a wallet and proving transactions, like proof of work. And we can say, like, if you do 1,000 steps or 100,000 steps, you are able to validate transactions and get rewarded for servicing the chain.
Right. Okay, I understand. Yeah. So yeah, I do. You talked a lot about the gamification side of it, which is, I understand not everyone's going to relate to that side, but I do know that especially the younger generation, that I think are going to be the future of what's to come, and really going to like this whole gamification. Like, they're used to playing things like Roblox, Fortnite. They used to be rewarded for the behaviors too also. So let's talk about the metaverse, avatars, digital counterparts. So they say that instead of being rewarded yourself with something tangible that you can claim, to say your avatar rewarded with booster points, or I don't know, they can run faster in the game because based on how you've walked, how many steps you've taken. Is this something that you guys are looking to do in the future, or you're doing now? No, go on. You answer this one.
Yeah, I really love this question. I think it is a guess, not a question, because like this concept and this project allows us to create a kind of real connection between real life and metaverse. Because besides having like 3D versions of our shoes, we can kind of empower avatars of people based on their physical activity in real world. Like, imagine you're running every day and your avatar gets stronger because you have trustworthy connection between your wearables, like wearable shoes, smart shoes, and your avatar. It can become kind of a game changing in this space, because now they're kind of not connected. Even if some metaverse things has their physical representation, they are not connected. So you can't change your avatar, or you can't change something in real life based on that connection. But we are bringing that new concept, kind of empowering and making stronger your avatars in metaverse based on your physical activity in real world.
And yeah.
In addition, sorry, I would like to add a small comment. So in addition, right now in our app, people do not level up their shoes as in other projects. They level up their avatar strength, which then will become part of their avatar parameters. So we see that shoe is just a tool, right, to do the physical activity, and you can't breed shoes, right? So I mean, okay, so we believe the shoe is a tool that is providing you like it's a fashion, it's a tool for running or jogging, whatever, but so it's not part of you. No matter how good shoe you have, it's not that you become more physically more healthy, right? You have to do the physical activity. So in our game, if you have a level, that means you did physical activity.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes complete sense. I'm thinking, like as you're talking, I'm just thinking. I remember when I used to play like games like Warcraft or then strategy games, and there was levels. You had to get to different levels to build the next side of it. And I think adding this aspect of it and being able to generate points with your movements, and you only can get to certain levels based on what you've done in real life, is actually doing the work in real life to build these fortresses in the game. Which I think that will just kids will just they will just do that naturally. Like, and I think if we get that kind of behavior, we'll get everybody moving like from a young age, which will be life changing for everybody. I think it'll be amazing for the world. And this is what I feel like Web3 is about: embrace technology to change the world. And something that you guys are doing is, I think that will be definitely possible. So I'm excited to see what you guys are going to be doing next. So we talked about digital counterparts, we talked about the metaverse. Because you guys have invented the technology with the insole, I'm sure you're going to be open to like, I don't know if you can talk about the collaborations that you have in place now, but I'm sure it can be endless, especially when it comes to fashion, to collaborate with these brands such as like Nike and Artifacts. Obviously, they're doing very good in space. Adidas, I know that Gucci, Balenciaga, they've done things around games. So are these the kind of people you're speaking to? Is this your entry point to work with these guys?
Unfortunately, we can't bring names. We are under NDAs with couple of top 3 to 5 companies. So we sorry.
Are they fashion companies? Are we talking fashion companies?
I'm talking about shoe brands.
Shoe brand. Okay. Cool.
And also we are talking with watch brands like closely, again under NDA. We are talking to telcos and preparing something very exciting about that. So we have been around too long and made a lot of connections.
That's amazing. And there's how big is your team at the moment? You got quite a big team.
Well, the core team is now 11 people, but overall we are about 20 with consultant advisors, community managers, and so on. Altogether, we are 20-member team now.
And what's the next step?
We onboarded, actually we onboarded as an advisor, Talar from Metaplex, head of growth, and we have an investor from Twitter, like ex-VP of technology. So we are kind of well-staffed and strengths. So yeah. We can call them a team because they're part of the team.
Yeah.
One thing I haven't talked about, which is I don't know. I'm glad I just remembered that. Make your okay. Then the big thing you mentioned earlier on, Sargis, is privacy, reliable data. Now, data obviously is massive within the Web2 world, capturing data and monetizing that. Now, you guys at the moment, you're capturing this data and you're rewarding people. Now, is there going to be a case that users are you going to monetize, are you going to sell this data to third parties at one case? And if you do, can users monetize off this too also? So if you're using my data, am I going to be able to make money with this in the future?
I love this question. This is a great question. So two things. First, the data is stored in the metadata of your NFT.
Yeah.
So the owner of the data is the user.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not in a position to trade their data. So in long term, if someone wants to, like, if you used one NFT for a year and you collected a lot of data there and you want to trade that, you are selling your data. So you are trading your data.
Right.
And on top of that, you can monetize your data actually without giving away your data. That's why you are earning Embry Move2Earn tokens. So
Right.
that's why we are using uncheatable technology. So if you have 1,000 Embry Move2Earn tokens, you can tell someone, hey, I got 1,000 Embry Move2Earn tokens. I assure you I did physical activity, but I don't want to show you which activities I did, when I did those activities, what time of day, where, in which location, so on and so forth. I just can assure you that I did physical activity. So we are kind of abstracting the data from the metadata, right? So you are not trading your data as the data. You are trading the compound of your data, right? That assures that you did some physical activity. So there are different levels of trading the data, and all levels are owned by the user.
Right. So what's the difference?
Eventually we are like Motearn is going to become a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. And even if some users come together and want to trade their data in a centralized manner, like all together to one entity, that's also okay, like matter of voting, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so what I want to know is, in regards to earning the emits, the actual tokens, and you can say that I can prove that I've done these movements. What kind of company would be interested in that data? Who, like, based on your experience, your guys' experience, could you tell me that?
Okay, so we identify categories of companies or all entities, I would say, legal entities that would be interested in your data in different levels. For example, your employer might be interested if you got physical activity, but they are not interested which kind of activity. So we see that this business model exists. Companies give compensation for gym passes, but they don't know whether you attended or you did, what kind of activities you did in a gym, right? But they pay the gym pass. So now they will buy Embry tokens from you, and they know exactly you did a physical activity, right? This is one thing. Another thing is that the insurance might be interesting in specific data, right? Not Embry Move2Earn tokens, but your NFT that contains more information about what kind of activities you did and so on. And also governments spend a lot of money in prevention, in preventive health, physical well-being, and so on. So governments also are not interested what specifically you did, but are interested of like generally population being more physically active. So we might run some government initiatives that are buying emets and burning to make sure their population is doing physical activity.
Right. So are you guys going to, I suspect, are you guys potentially going to put together these proposals for your community? So right, okay, I'm not going to get in contact with the government and say, do you want to buy my data? But you may, if you go, you may go, look, the government, this entity would like this much information from the community. Who would like to trade that and in rewards to receive?
Absolutely. So our promise is that we will do business development for the community. We'll work on that. So next round we are raising is all about that. We are setting up a business development teams, and dependent on the number of users in certain country, we'll prioritize the countries and go after one another to get business partners who will be doing localized initiatives like that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that the concept, and I thought that okay, we're talking about walking and jogging and being healthy, but one thing I say that in countries like third world countries like in Africa, where people have to walk to get water or go or to feed themselves, and imagine these guys being able to monetize them walking, being able to get food. That would be just a great thing that would that I haven't seen anywhere. Like, so I'd love to see that in the future. You guys going to countries and seeing if that works.
Speaking of the how we can utilize this technology for the good of the community, is that we are also going to provide white labeled solutions for other NFT projects. And we introduced this new kind of term that we call active staking. So you are familiar with staking, right? You lock your tokens somewhere, and it generates you passive income, right? So now let's say like Bored Ape or DGOTS, whatever projects, like well-known projects, we give them a solution that new utility comes to their NFTs. There can be co-branded insoles and NFTs, and people will stake their tokens, but they will move. They will have to do physical activity, so they get rewards from staking. If they don't do physical activity, staking is just saving the tokens somewhere. It's not generating any income. So this is something we are working. It's much closer than the other ones I was talking. The governments, it will take years to get on board. But yeah, we are planning to do a lot of these kind of activities for the community benefits.
Okay, and is there any, I mean, one thing when we talk about NFTs, and there's always talk about royalties. Is there any aspects of royalties involved within the NFTs that people buy?
Yeah, so we have 7 to 6% royalties from the NFT trading. So if the users sell NFTs to each other, soon we'll open the marketplace for that. So we'll get the royalties. Royalties will go mainly to support the future development of the community and the project.
The sellers earning royalties. So if I'm on a secondary market, if I bought an NFT and I sell it on, do I get anything down the line? Or the current, I guess you guys are the greatest, won't you? So you guys will get your royalties from there. Because as a person that's selling it on a secondary market, do I get anything for that?
Do you get royalties for the NFT trading?
Yeah, for the trading. So even if we go down to the whole idea that we talked about, the data side of it, if I'm selling it, if I'm selling my IMEX tokens to the government, and then they sell it on down the line, am I going to get royalties for that too? Also, it's not just a one sale thing.
That's a very interesting point. We didn't think about that. Thanks for mentioning that. We'll think about that. Well, we do build in public. You saw our LinkedIn's. We were posting. Now we are discussing everything in our Discord. So join our Discord. Let's discuss this with the community. This is a great idea. would love to cook this idea furthermore.
Yeah, I mean, this is what that lots of people talk about. I mean, is it something that's going to work? We don't know, but it's something that can be put in from the beginning. Like, it'd be amazing because let's face it, this is what happens. Okay, even if we make a little bit of money off the first sale, if they go to sell it for millions after that, then we don't get anything for that. It's once again, it's defeating your objects of being rewarded.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. That's a great idea. Let's discuss it.
All right.
Actually, we have very active members, so we need to discuss this on our Discord.
Yes. Well, I'll send me the link after. I'll jump in and I'll definitely get involved in that conversation and seeing what the outcome is of that. But guys, I want to know before we kind of round it off, and I want to know a bit more about yourselves. I mean, you're in the NFT space. You come from a Web2 space, but have you been buying any NFTs? I mean, Nera, yourself, you buying NFTs?
Well, I own Stepan.
Okay.
I did whole cycles, like buying the NFT, breeding the NFT, trading the NFT, leveling up to the max level, like going through the chains and so on and so forth.
I'm a Stepan user as well, and also like a few others. So yeah, as I'm responsible for all UX and also arts, I have to do it to see like what is missing there and what we can do and what we can add to make the experience like greater.
I love that, and I think it's important to see what the competition are doing and to understand it.
Well, actually, we it's worth mentioning that towards our campaign, which is 15th September, we are giving away a lot of cool NFTs from other projects, either collaborations or one side, like we like the project, we just buy the NFTs and give away on our Twitter, on Discord. So I would highly encourage everybody to follow our Twitter and join the Discord. And we are doing like every 24 hours, we do give away cool NFTs. So check that out.
Project you're talking about, like
we gave away shrimps. We gave away centuries. We gave away. Right now, we are giving away eternal dragons. Eternal dragons.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And actually, some of them got like the moment we bought them for giveaway, they were like 2 or 3 souls, and they got up to 19 souls. So I would highly encourage to participate in there.
If anyone a chance to kind of 10x and make a lot of money, and the giveaway, that'd be great. So make sure you join the Twitter, which we'll get that. Make sure we take that before we end the podcast. Just to kind of round it off, this is a question I always ask. So I don't know if you're prepared for this, but I feel like I'll ask you both individually. I want you to look into the future, around 10 years from now, and I want you to tell me what does the world look like involving the Web3 and NFT space, not only around your field in regards to Motearn, but everything else. So you wake up in the morning, I want you to describe what's the first thing you do involving the world of Web3. So I'll start with Nere. You can say first what you vision it to be, like just for a little splurge for like 45 seconds. So you wake up in the morning, the alarm goes off, then what?
I imagine the world in like 10, 15 years will be more fair, and especially from the consumer and user side, because like now we are paying too much to the centralized companies. As a user, we are paying with our data, we are paying with our time and money. So in 10 years, I believe people be more active, healthy, and more wealthy because of that, because of cutting that costs between like centralized companies and giving users and people to choose how, where, and whom to sell their data. So hopefully Web3 will solve that big issue.
Okay, all right, okay, like that. Brought it back round to the company, but I love the answer. What about yourself?
I would say we'll see more distribution of wealth in terms of economic model, because Web3 is changing the whole value chain of economic model between different classes, right? And the next thing is that we see more and more Web2 companies moving to Web3. Right. So we could definitely see this. And I would say not only technology companies, but also consumer brands, and we will follow the big brands. And in terms of lifestyle change, I would say smartphone will give some functionalities of some functionalities to wearables. So eventually, smartphone as a form factor, I believe, will disappear, and all functionalities will be divided into wearables. But this is not in 10 years. In 10 years, wearables will have more functionalities than today. And I would say, like every smartphone has a camera today, right? Every shoe will have built-in technology, and that will be connected to your digital space, to your avatar, more tightly than ever before. So right now, we are like, digital space is a little bit bubbled, but I see in 10 years more connection between physical and digital. Why? Because we humans are physical creatures, right? We love to interact, we love to touch, we love to exchange, right? And whatever we create is solving some problem or satisfying some need of ours. So we can't create digital worlds for sake of having digital worlds. Like we will create something that is giving something back into the real world. So in that sense, we are starting new movement, connecting the digital representation of products to physical representation. And in next 10 years, we will see more companies doing this. This is not only our thing. This is not one company thing. This is matter of movement.
Yeah, no, I agree too. That's amazing. So, okay, two interesting points of view, but I do agree with both of them and where we're going. I do hope to see that in the future, and I believe you guys are going to play a big part in that. But just to round off, where can I find both of you individually? Anyone wants to contact you guys to find out a bit more about, obviously, the platform, or even potentially want to collaborate with you guys and work with you guys in the future? We'll start with Naré. Where we can find you, Naré?
Actually, I'm active on LinkedIn or on Twitter. Yeah, Discord may be the best way right now, because Discord is boiling right now, especially Motearn Discord. Yeah. But LinkedIn and Twitter is a good way to be in the contact. Yeah.
What's LinkedIn name and Twitter name?
LinkedIn is Naré Gevorgyan, like my name, and Twitter is let me share it, like.
I'll put it in the comments below, not to worry. I'll definitely put it in the captions, so I'll make sure. So Discord, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. What about yourself, Sargis?
Oh well, I'm using more WeChat. I'm kidding. Like I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. You know, building a hardware company means like you are talking to every part of the world, supply chain, everything. So I use every messenger, and every social media, almost all of them. So, but yeah, like again, I'm active on Twitter. It's my name.
TikTok, right? You are not using TikTok, right?
No.
You find him on TikTok, yeah.
Not that one. Oh, okay, so there are new ones I'm not using. So yeah, Sargis K is my nickname, username in Twitter. my name and surname Sargis Karapetyan in LinkedIn, and of course I'm all the time. So I'm the one more engaged with the community in Discord. So happy to have you on Discord.
Love that. Well, guys, thank you for coming on today and sharing knowledge and sharing what you plan to do in the future and the amazing things you've already done. So exciting, and I think it's something exciting you're going to bring to the NFT space and Web3 space as a whole. I hope everybody enjoyed it, listening or watching, and everyone go follow them and pay attention, because I think this is going to be the next big thing, guys. So everyone stay listening and stay blessed.